Yo, what's up, guys? How are you doing today? I'm about to talk to the Miami Heat and what we should do this upcoming 2023 NBA offseason. Obviously, lost Game 5 to the Denver Nuggets last night. Shout out to the Nuggets, shout out to Joker, shout out to Jamal Murray. They were the first in Western Conference all season for the most part since really like December around Christmas. Best team in the playoffs. They deserved it, and they won 3 consecutive games over the Miami Heat after that Game 2 loss. So no ill will to the Nuggets. Shout out to them. Shout out to the fans. First ring for them in their 50-year existence. And Miami Heat. This is one of the biggest offseason Heat history. I'm going to go ahead and break down roster, free agency acquisitions, possible trades as well. Just break all that down. And let's get into it right now, actually. Already. So I made a video similar to this. I didn't upload it, though, after that Game 6 loss at Celtics and that Derek White game-winning shot. I made a video about the Miami Heat offseason. I'm not going to upload it. It was like 26 minutes long. Literally was just going on a tangent, just rambling. So I'm going to have a way shorter video this time around, just breaking down the Heat roster, who I expect to be back, possible trade acquisition, what we should really hunt this offseason, because this is one of the biggest Heat offseasons in a while, including the year that we got LeBron and Chris Bosh. Like this is that year, because last offseason we didn't do anything at all, and we somewhat got farther than we did the year prior. So again, I don't know. This Heat team doesn't make sense. Let's go ahead and break everything down. I'm gonna go ahead and just really just skim past everybody for the most part. Bam Adebayo will be back. He had a phenomenal finals run. Shout out to him. I love that my center was able to not crack under the pressure, but actually race his game come playoff time. Had a 20-point triple-double against the Bucks. Had some nice defensive moments on Giannis. Made it tough on Nikola Jokic, even though he did average like 30, 15, and 7. Jokic is a video game character. You can only do so much. Can't really expect Bam to be able to contain Jokic for the most part, just because he has the size and the weight advantage and this and that. He's just such a skilled basketball player. Jimmy Butler did have an up and down finals. He did show up in the fourth quarter of last night's loss to the Nuggets in Game 5. Definitely when he showed up earlier, maybe it is that lingering ankle injury. He's not going to make that excuse. I'm not going to make that excuse either. He just simply needs to be better. Jamal Cain probably will be back on a two-way deal like Udonis Haslam. Shout out to him. Heat legend, 20 years in the NBA. Last night was his final game with the Miami Heat at the age of 43 years old. Shout out to UD. Actually checked in for a game earlier, maybe Game 1 or Game 3 of the 2023 NBA Finals. Shout out to UD going out with playing in the finals last couple of minutes. Tyler Hero, if we don't involve him in a trade, he probably will be back. But my idea is we're going to be involving him in a flurry of different trades. If the trades get accepted, we'll see about that. But Haywood Highsmith, he'll be back next year. He has a year or two left in his contract. I like what I saw from him. Probably needs to just work on improving his shot creation, I would say, improving his three-point shot, because you know he is a good defender already in this league. I was looking at his height yesterday. It says 6'7" on Basketball Reference, says 6'4" on ESPN. I don't know how tall he really is. 6'7", 6'5", 6'4". I don't know. Nikola Jovic, this is a big off season for him. I think he's going to be a decent part of the Miami Heat's roster next season. Again, another possible guy that we would include in the trade, but we didn't really play him too much. It looked like throughout the season he was really just redshirting, which like in college you like not really playing, just bulking up, getting like reps in and practice and things of that nature, just working on your body as a whole, just taking that year in to feel everything, and then the next season you go in and then you do your thing. Kevin Love, he just had a kid. Shout out to Kevin Love, 34 years old, had some big moments in the Bucks closeout series. He made 5 of 11 from the three-point line. Really good at drawing charges. If he comes back for 1 year, cool. If not, probably end up retiring. Kyle Lowry, I don't know if we're gonna involve him in a trade or something like that. I'm not too sure. Obviously, he's cool with Jimmy Butler, but he can't be making $28 million a year coming off the bench at 37, probably about to be 38 years old. Potentially takes a pay cut, potentially involved in a move. I don't know what's gonna go on with Kyle Lowry, but if he's back, we don't get any other point guards. I wouldn't be the most like pissed off person if he was starting at point guard, but that's literally like not the worst case scenario, but a lot of things have to go wrong for Kyle Lowry to still be on this Heat roster starting, in my opinion. That might be a little bit harsh, but just calling it how it is. Caleb Martin, if we can get like a first round pick or some good value, or just involvement of blockbuster deal, I'm not opposed to trading the likes of Caleb Martin. I've learned from years past, the Heat are a win-now situation. I can't just hold on to these players anymore. Outside of obviously Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo, which are the two untouchable players on this team. Victor Oladipo, 31 years old, making damn near $9 million a year. He probably will take the player option. I don't know what's going to happen with him. He had another major injury. Doc Robinson, just like Caleb Martin, if we're able to include him in a blockbuster deal, I'm not going to be too pissed off. Even though he is an elite shooter in this league, he's a really good playmaking the ball, with especially Bam Adebayo attacking the cup as well, attacking the rim. If we're able to bring him back, that would be cool. If not, maybe if you can get a first round pick back for him, maybe if you can involve him in a blockbuster deal, or Kalen Robinson probably be back on a two-way deal. Max Strus, I honestly do not see Max Strus returning to the Miami Heat. Yes, he had a better game 5 than he had game 4, and I believe, yeah, because Max Strus, at a point, he was literally, he put up 0 points in the NBA Finals 2 times as starter. I'm not gonna slander Strus. We were only in the finals because of Max Strus. I'm at 31 points against the Bulls in the play-in game after losing to the Hawks. Him and Jimmy Butler combined for 62 points, as they both have 31 points against the Chicago Bulls. I really don't see him returning, especially if Duncan Robinson remains on this team. They both really play the same position, and they're both really similar players. Like Robinson is, though, the better player. But Max Strus, I really do not see him returning to Miami Heat, so we'll see what happens with that. Gabe Vincent, another guy that I wouldn't be opposed to for him to return to the Miami Heat. It's just that as Miami Heat fans, I feel like we deserve an elite level point guard, and Gabe Vincent is just simply currently not that guy. But a lot of things have to go wrong, in my opinion, for the Miami Heat to walk into next season with Gabe Vincent being our starting point guard again. No slander, no shots to Gabe Vincent, but there's a lot of guys in the vault the Miami Heat could go ahead and trade for and get an elite guy that's not only a elite scorer, but elite playmaker in this league as well. And Gabe Vincent currently right now is kind of like that project player, trying to build him up to be a really good player in this league. Has to make moments, especially against the Celtics, especially against the Knicks, especially against the Bucks. But overall, last game he did shoot 3 for 13, so inconsistency out of Gabe Vincent. I feel like it is kind of outlandish to expect Gabe Vincent to be a number 3 guy in the championship team. That's just my opinion, even though Tyler Hero's out. That is just my opinion. Omar Yurtseven, I don't think he'll return to the Miami Heat at all. I think that experiment is over, my opinion. Cody Zeller needs to be unemployed. He played last game for a minute. The Bucks immediately, not the Bucks, the Nuggets immediately went on a 5-0 run. Coach spoke all the timeout, and that 1 minute he really caused the Nuggets to go on a 5-0 run, and we lose the game by 5 points. Not a coincidence. We didn't shoot well from the field overall, but still, that is just my opinion. Now on to the position of needs for the Miami Heat this offseason. Before we even get into that, obviously, I'm going to talk about the guard position, what the Miami Heat should do this offseason. The Miami Heat need to make a deal, at least a package for a guy like Damian Lillard, an elite point guard in this league with a good playmaker as well, a bona fide superstar in this league, and a guy that can be that number 1 option on a championship team. Because Jimmy Butler is a really good number 1 option, but Jimmy Butler is a fucking phenomenal second option. So if you can go ahead and make him your second option, make Damian number 1 option. Damian Lillard right now is 32 years old, and only really thing that's concerned to Damian Lillard is really the injury, especially towards the end of the season, with I believe the abdomen injury that he missed maybe this season or the last season with. Damian Lillard needs to be out of Portland. He needs to be on a championship level team and a contending team, and that is the Miami Heat. Even though a lot of moves need to be made, this is definitely my opinion, still one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference. So Damian Lillard, I would love to have him on my team, a deal involving probably a Hero, 3 first-round picks just as a basis, and then just throw a couple things in as well. Maybe that's a Caleb Martin, maybe that's a Duncan Robinson, maybe that's a, I don't know. And the next guy, I just saw a tweet from earlier while I was really just getting up. I tweeted about from Shams about the Miami Heat being an offer last offseason for Kyrie Irving, and he obviously got traded from the Nets to the Mavs. This time around, he is an unrestricted free agent. Maybe you have to orchestrate a sign and trade, but I would love Kyrie Irving with the Miami Heat. I've been clamoring for Kyrie Irving for a while. It's just I didn't know if we were interested just because of the off the field, I guess, concerns or things like that, the unavailability, just a lot of off the court things. Because Kyrie, when he's on the court, he's a phenomenal player. He's an elite guard, an elite point guard in this league. He was a starter for the All-Star game, so we know just how gifted of a scorer Kyrie Irving is. I mean, every single time we go up against him, that man literally fucking owns us. So we know firsthand how talented of a player Kyrie Irving is in the fact that we actually made an offer for him not last season, but this season for the trade deadline, gives me at least a glimmer of hope. But that's the 2 point guards in my opinion I think the Miami Heat should go after. Now, when it comes to the 2023 NBA draft, the Miami Heat have the number 18th overall pick. They can go ahead and include that in the trade or just draft. In my opinion, I would love to have Derek Lively fall to the number 18 overall pick. That would be phenomenal. But we also, like I said, do have that pick as well. And another need position for the Miami Heat, let's go ahead and look at this free agency tracker, is, in my opinion, the really kind of the main position, but not, yeah, kind of the main position. The Miami Heat need a power forward. The Miami Heat need a power forward. The power forward these seasons was Kevin Love, Caleb Martin, Max Strus. Undersized, way too old, and undersized. I look at the best free agents for the power forward person, Draymond Green. I do not see Draymond Green coming to the Miami Heat. Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and Draymond Green in the starting five. Phenomenal defensively, but none of them are consistent three-point shooters, so I don't think that's going to work out. Jeremy Green, I think he'll just end up resigning with the Portland Trailblazers. Porzingis has a player option. Maybe he takes it, maybe he doesn't. I wouldn't mind Porzingis in the Miami Heat. Not really any guys that stand out outside of Grant Williams. I would love Grant Williams in the Miami Heat. Grant Williams just seems like a Miami Heat player, giving them somewhere between $10 to $12 million. I was just talking to my boy who's a Celtics fan. He said also he would probably pay Grant Williams at most $12 million a year. So hey, Grant Williams, if you want to come to the Heat, by any means, we'll definitely take you open arms. Probably will end up starting for us as well. So shout out to Grant Williams, by the way. A lot of respect for him this season. Got benched, came back, had a moment against Jimmy Butler, and hey, he was doing this thing for them, man. He was doing this thing. So I would not mind Grant Williams in the Miami Heat whatsoever. I probably will end up starting for us. Like I said, he's gotten better really every single year. He had a phenomenal Game 7 against the Bucks last year. Had big moments this season as well. Just an absolute pain to go up against a phenomenal, in my opinion, 3-and-D player in this league with Grant Williams of the Miami Heat. And this is where we get interesting. The Miami Heat could either do one thing, keep Bam at the center position, or make Bam a power forward again, because he is 6'9", kind of an undersized big, but makes up with it with his athleticism, and he's actually a pretty good rebounder as well. But yeah, the number one option for me out of all of this would probably be Brook Lopez, who's about to be 35 years old, and I feel like he's really just getting better year by year, which is the scary part. He was a DPOY candidate this season, one of the best shot blockers in this league, an elite rim protector in this league. He has a he's actually an unrestricted free agent this offseason. So hey, love to have Brook Lopez on my team. The likes of Nikola Vucevic, not so much, not really defensive big. Jakob Poeltl, again, not so much, not really a shooting threat at all. Christian Wood, not really a fan of Christian Wood, unfortunately. Naz Reid, I wouldn't mind. He's coming off a pretty big injury though, so we'll see in terms of that. I still don't know if I see Naz Reid as a starting center or as a backup center. I don't know with all of that. But yeah, definitely Brook Lopez, definitely the likes of a Grant Williams, I wouldn't mind at all. And actually, let me just look through the whole entire positions and see if I see anybody. But yeah, for the most part, if you can make a trade for Damian Lillard, if you can make a trade for Kyrie Irving, if you can sign obviously either or, you can't get both of them, obviously. Grant Williams at power forward position, Brook Lopez at the center position. Maybe try to offload some contracts to be able to afford it. We really don't have too much cap space at all. I would not really be interested in James Harden, respectfully. Yeah, not really anything that's popping out to me right now at all. I wouldn't be opposed to Kyle Kuzma at the power forward position. I'll be honest. Not really on my top of my list, but wouldn't really mind it. Yeah, not really seeing anything that pops out to me, but yeah, in particular, make a deal for an elite guard. If not, you have to get a power forward. You have to get a backup center, and yeah, this is a big option for the Miami Heat. A lot to be done, a lot to be made. Pat Riley and Ellisberg, the front office. This is a big offseason. Jimmy Butler's not getting any older. I love to see him and Bam, my two best players, not crumble under the pressure. Obviously, Jimmy Butler did not have a good game 5 against the Denver Nuggets for the first 3 quarters, and that game 6, he was absolutely putrid along with really everybody in the court. Not really, except for our role players, who loses Jimmy and Bam that didn't play really well. But that is what I think Miami should do this offseason. I'll be coming out with a couple of videos as well this offseason. Drafts, mock drafts, react to the draft, free agency predictions, all of that. So no more NBA games, but still will be uploading here and there as I come up with videos and edit them and get them all up. But appreciate y'all all the support this season. That is what I believe the Miami should do this offseason. Phenomenal season for the Miami Heat. To get past the Bucks in 5, Knicks in 6, Celtics in 7 after almost choking the biggest lead in NBA history, losing game 5 to the Denver Nuggets. Just lost to the better team, a well-coached team, more talented team. The role players stepped up when it mattered. Guys like Bruce Brown, like they did their thing. Yeah, like if we can get a guy, I doubt we can get a guy like a Bruce Brown, but those role players, they mean so much. It's not just always about the stars, like the unsung heroes, the Bruce Browns of the world, the Kentavious Caldwell Popes of the world. Like those are big time underrated signings, I'll be honest with y'all. So that's what I think the Miami Heat should do this offseason. And yeah, but other than that, y'all, that is the video. Make sure to go down below, drop a like, comment down below. So, boy John, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'm out, man. Peace.